Deserts are not barren wastelands. They are vibrant environments where people, animals, and cultures have thrived for thousands of years. When you hear the word desert, do you picture endless dunes, scorching heat, or freezing cold nights? In reality, deserts support life and resilience against all odds. A desert is a dry biome that receives less than 25 centimeters, 9.8 inches of rain annually. Interestingly, this means that the amount of water lost through evaporation can exceed the rainfall in a given year. Including the semi-arid regions, deserts cover approximately 33% of the Earth's land area. That includes much of Antarctica, where large areas get no snow at all. The largest hot desert is the Sahara Desert in northern Africa, covering 9 million square kilometers. Desert land surfaces are varied. Examples are stones, dunes, and snow. They may have some animals and plants. Deserts sometimes expand, desertification, and sometimes contract. Deserts are mostly in the western part of the Americas, Western Asia, Central and Western Australia, Namibia, and North Africa. Some, such as the Sahara, are very hot during the day and have cold nights, but there are also cold deserts such as the Atacama in South America, which are frozen day and night. Today, let's journey into two very different worlds of the desert: the hot, burning Sahara and the icy, cold Ladakh. The hot desert, Sahara. Location: the largest hot desert in the world, covering 11 countries in North Africa: Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Niger, Sudan, Tunisia, and Western Sahara. The Sahara Desert covers a large part of North Africa. It is the world's largest desert. It has an area of around 8.54 million square kilometers. Do you recall that India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometers? The Sahara is much more than just sand. In fact, the majority of the Sahara is made up of barren, rocky plateaus, as well as salt flats, dunes, mountains, and dry valleys. The rivers and streams found in the Sahara are all seasonal, apart from the River Nile. There are over 20 lakes in the Sahara, most of which are saltwater lakes. Lake Chad is the only freshwater lake in the desert. The highest peak in the Sahara is MCQs, 3,415 meters, a volcano located in the Tibesti Mountains, Chad. Other mountain ranges in the area include the Ayir Mountains, Saharan Atlas, Adrar Desiphorus, Hagar Mountains, Tibesti Mountains, and the Red Sea Hills. Climate: extremely hot during the day, can rise above 50 degrees Celsius, and surprisingly cold at night. The Sahara is the hottest desert in the world, with one of the harshest climates. The average annual temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, whilst the hottest temperature ever recorded was 58 degrees Celsius. The area receives little rainfall. In fact, half of the Sahara Desert receives less than 1 inch of rain every year. Vegetation and adaptation: only cactus, acacia, and date palms. Plants store water and have long roots. Given the immensity of the desert, the biodiversity is remarkably low. Acacia trees, grasses, spiny shrubs, and palms, for example, have adapted to the Saharan climate by growing closer to the ground to avoid water loss from strong winds. They can also store moisture in their stems and have roots that branch out horizontally to maximize the area they cover for moisture collection. Thick leaves and needles prevent evaporation. Animal life: camels, also known as the ships of the desert, are well adapted to the Sahara's hot, arid environment. The humps on a camel's back store fat, which can be used for energy and hydration in between meals. Camels store energy so efficiently that they can go more than a week without water and several months without food. There are around 70 different animal species, 20 of which are large mammals like the spotted hyena. Other mammals include the gerbil, sand fox, and Cape hare. Reptiles like the sand viper and the monitor lizard are present in the Sahara Desert as well. People: the Sahara Desert is home to diverse populations, primarily nomadic groups like the Tuareg, Bedouins, and Tedda, who practice animal rearing and wear heavy clothing for protection against the harsh climate. Lifestyle: camels, ships of the desert, are used for travel, tents made of animal skin, and traditional clothes protect from heat and sandstorms. Some of the people who live in the Sahara raise crops on irrigated land in an oasis. Others tend flocks of goats, sheep, and camels. These herders find grass for the stock along the desert's fringe or where sudden rains have fallen. They live in tents so they can move easily as soon as the grass is eaten in one place. Modern changes. Oil reserves, tourism, and trade routes are bringing new opportunities. The discovery of petroleum and natural gas reserves in Algeria attracted international interest in exploring and developing the Sahara. Soon, other oil and natural gas fields were discovered in Egypt and Libya. Large deposits of such minerals as iron ore, copper, and manganese were found as well. Uranium is widely distributed in the Sahara and has been particularly important in Niger. The cold desert. Ladakh. Location: in India, high up in the Himalayas. The cold desert of India is situated in the Himalayas and stretches from Ladakh in the state of Jammu and Kashmir in the north to Kinnaur in the state of Himachal Pradesh in the south. The Karakoram Range in the north and the Zanskar Mountains in the south enclose it. Several rivers flow through Ladakh, the Indus being the most important among them. The Gangri Glacier most commonly refers to the Gangotri Glacier, India's largest glacier in the Garhwal Himalayas in Uttarakhand, which is a source of the Ganges River. The altitude in Ladakh varies from about 3,000 meters in Kargil to more than 8,000 meters in the Karakoram. Climate. A huge seasonal variation is seen in the climatic conditions, ranging from short and dry summers with harsh sunlight, maximum temperature reaching up to 36 degrees Celsius during the day, to long, windy, and freezing winters, minimum temperature touching -32 degrees Celsius at night. Vegetation and adaptation. The natural vegetation of Ladakh is predominantly composed of alpine and desert flora. In the higher altitudes, particularly above 3,000 meters, you can find grasses, shrubs, and hardy plants that can withstand harsh conditions. Species such as saxifraga, potentilla, and various types of wildflowers bloom during the short summer season. In the lower regions, the vegetation is sparse, consisting mainly of xerophytic plants like euphorbia and acantholimon, which are adapted to dry conditions. Forests. Some areas, particularly around the Zanskar Valley, have sparse forests of willows and poplars, mainly along riverbanks. Ladakh is home to a diverse range of wildlife adapted to the extreme conditions of the region. The region hosts several unique species such as the snow leopard, Tibetan antelope, chiru, and the Himalayan marmot. These animals are well adapted to the cold climate and rugged terrain. People, mainly Buddhists, living in small villages and monasteries. Ladakhis are Tibetan Mongoloid in appearance, although traces of Kashmiri Muslim influence can also be seen. It is most likely that early in its history, Ladakh was settled by the Mon and Dard groups of people. The Mon, a term applied by Tibetan-speaking peoples to valley dwellers, are probably the builders of many of the castles found in Ladakh, particularly those in the Zanskar Valley. The Dards, also agriculturists like the Mon, similarly arrived in Ladakh sometime before the 7th century and settled primarily in the Dras Valley. Having converted to Islam in the 17th century, little remains of their prior religious practices. Lifestyle. Houses built with thick walls for insulation, traditional woolen clothes, and festivals full of music and dance. Sharing roots with Tibet and central India, the Ladakhi people have a similar lifestyle in terms of food, clothing, religion, festivals, habits, and much more. Due to leading a nomadic pastoral life, most of them depend on agriculture. One of the most notable features of Ladakh society is the status of women. Ladakhi women hold an esteemed and respected position in society and enjoy being independent. So, whether it's the golden sands of the Sahara or the icy winds of Ladakh, life in the desert is a story of survival, adaptation, and resilience. These lands may look extreme and unforgiving, but they carry the spirit of people who have turned the impossible into possible. Next time you think of a desert, remember, it's not an empty wasteland, but a world full of life.